joining us now on the program to talk about all the considerations you should be making for holiday travel this weekend and looking forward to traveling later on in the year in 2023 is David Fishman, president of Cadillac Travel Group. David, thanks for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having me, Tyler. Nice to see you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, good to have you on as well, and appreciate you coming on with us today. First off, and this was not originally on the docket for us to discuss, but it's something we should absolutely dive into with the storm incoming and ongoing at this time all across the state of Michigan, soon to really hit Southeast Michigan hard. It's coming at a really very inconvenient time for many people getting ready to travel this holiday season, whether it be on the roads of Michigan, but even at the airport. And so if people are running into problems, delays, cancellations, all which are already to be expected, as have been announced by the airlines and by our local airports, what steps can they take maybe to get better deals for an alternative flight, or if they have to completely scrap their travel plans altogether? Are there steps that are available for people?
Well, first of all, as I always say, the most important thing you can always do is protect yourself when you're traveling. You should have taken insurance. But that being said, and that let's say that is gone, what do? Well, you should have been. You need to check today. You needed to check yesterday. You got to constantly check and see what's the status with the flights, because there are flights that are being canceled already because of the weather coming towards us. So other states, the problems with the flights in those other states, it might have caused delays or cancellations of your flights already. So please stay on top of your flights. Make sure you know whether that plane is still going on time or if it has been canceled at all. Once you find out if your flight is canceled, then you have to look at alternatives on that airline or other airlines that might be able to accommodate you, so you can have some options that you can discuss with the airlines or rebook online. And then, of course, know your rights. It's really important to know what your rights are, which your rights are. It has a lot to do with what is happening. So if it's mechanical or if it's weather, you actually have you have more limited rights than you do if there is problems caused by the airlines themselves with whatever management or whatever. But know your rights and what options they'll have available to you, so you can make figure out what you can do next, depending on what happens with your flights.
And we just heard earlier on from another travel expert, particularly for in-state travel, about some advice for at the airport this time of the year, especially with inclement weather incoming. From you, as someone that experiences this in consultation with people traveling both domestically and internationally, and during a time like this season, but also with a storm incoming and storms in other places affecting travel, what advice do you have for travelers, particularly if they're going to their local airport this holiday season?
Well, early, patience, early. There's going to be long lines. I was already at the airport last week. They were already setting up to have the lines all the way down the airport as I was walking in. So they were already setting up and they're expecting those long lines. And usually 2 to 2.5 hours early. Pretty much, if you're going to be flying, get there at least 2 to 3 hours early, depending on if you have TSA or clear, that will speed you up a little bit. But I would but the lines are still going to be long, even at the counters, if you have to check a bag or check in at the counter. So get there at least 2.5 hours, I would say 3 hours early. If you're flying international, I get there 4 hours early. I wouldn't take any chances between traffic you might run into. So you want to be driving there earlier and leaving your house earlier. So the lines at the airport, the lines at the counters, you need to really be getting there much earlier and be patient. You got to remember, the people working there, they want to get you out. They want to make sure it goes smoothly. So abusing them is not going to help you. As I say, the people at the counters and at the gate are, the gatekeepers. They have a lot of power. So if you want to have a problem, get them upset. You'll have bigger problems. Be kind, be nice, be patient, go early, and it'll go a long way for you.
It's also a good time of the year to start planning your travel for later on in the year, whether it be spring break or summer travel. And this is the time of year too, where there are a lot of great deals on travel across a variety of different sectors of the travel industry. So what sort of deals are available if people are looking to make those plans and maybe save a buck or two at this time of the year?
Yeah, I'm going to add one more thing. Let's just say your whole trip is canceled but you still want to go somewhere, and it's very last minute at this point in time. Look at cold weather destinations, or look at destinations that are, normally people aren't traveling to this time of year. So it can be really pretty going to, over to London, or going to some of the Nordic countries, or going to other places this time of year when you're not sitting on a beach, but you're still touring, going to museums, going to dinners, seeing the country. It's really pretty and covered in snow that, sometimes you don't normally get to see when you travel to those destinations. So there's an option for you as well if everything goes awry and you can't make your trip because it's canceled completely. So something to think about. Now, the deals next year, first of all, if you haven't planned spring break, plan it now, because it's really sold out, in particular on the air. You'll still find some ground hotels, cruises, and things that you'll find deals on. So those options are there. I'm seeing a ton of international cruising and riverboat cruises. Seem to be some great deals out there. So that's something to look at as well. And some more adventuresome trips. I'm starting to see some deals on some of the more unique trips out there as well. So step outside the box. Maybe do that bucket list trip, uh, because right now you need to plan ahead, because 2023 right now is looking towards being the busiest travel year in the history of travel. So plan ahead, start planning now. So when you're on that vacation, talk about those trips you want to take. When you're with the family over Christmas, talk about those family trips you want to take and start making your plans ahead of time.
Yeah, holiday travel, travel just this holiday season is just a few percentage points shy of where the numbers were pre-pandemic in 2019. So it's definitely something we can expect to continue to go up as we distance ourselves further from the times when restrictions were heavily in place due to COVID-19. If you need help traveling, planning your travel plans or accommodations, 800-369-8747 or 800-369-TRIP to get in contact with Cadillac Travel. You can also find them online at CadillacTravel.com. We're joined by the president of Cadillac Travel Group, David Fishman, on today's edition of the Megacast. In terms of the cost of travel, we're seeing cost of everything has gone up of late. How has that affected the travel industry? And when it comes down to the bottom line, affected the prices people are paying to travel across different sectors?
Well, the airfares are just ridiculous. Personally, I'm, I'm on my soapbox out there saying this is not right. I mean, I know prices have gone up, but I think that the airlines are really taking advantage of the traveling public. To be very honest, the airfares are through the roof. So plan ahead. Don't think the airfares are going to go down on a lot of things. So if you get a good rate, please take that rate. And moving forward, there will still be some deals in regards to cruising and in regards to hotels and all inclusives. Those deals will be not bad out there. They still haven't gone quite through the roof like the airline tickets have. So you can really get those deals. It's going to be navigating the airfare pricing moving forward is going to be kind of difficult. We all hope that things will get better with that. The reality is that people are traveling more than ever because of what we're talking about with the pandemic and what happened with people being locked down. People say, I don't care about the price. I'm never being locked up again. I'm going to go on this trip. I'm not taking a chance if something happens with RSV or the flu or COVID. I'm going to travel. So it hasn't impacted travel as much as it happened to have an impact in other sectors. People are traveling, and people will continue to travel much more moving forward because of what they realized they were missing. When they realized they were missing travel, they know how important that is as a part of their life and seeing their family, seeing their friends, seeing the world. So it hasn't really slowed down travel very much, the high prices.
More information can be found and get in contact for consultation at CadillacTravel.com. 800 numbers 800-369-8747, 800-369-TRIP, or local call them at 248-358-5330, 248-358 5300 for more information.
No,
David, before
5330.
yes, 5330
5330.
248
Yeah,
358 5330. David, we got about 1 minute left with you here.
yeah.
But so I want to go back over to talking about travel insurance. Just give us a brief overview about some of the different protections that consumers can get by purchasing travel insurance along with their plans.
Yeah, so travel insurance has become very important ever since the pandemic. And so, it's beautiful because it covers you before, during, and after your trip with different situations. So it'll cover you if you happen to get sick before you go. It'll cover you if you have a business excuse. Now they even have if your pet is ill. So there's new travel insurances and protections available. Know what your protections are. Know what you need. Know what's in those plans. So it's important to go to a travel professional and really make sure that you know what you're getting to make sure you have those proper coverages. But you need to take it. It'll cover for those delays that are happening, like moving forward with the weather. It'll cover you if you get ill, including English speaking doctors or medevac out. God forbid if something became that terrible that you needed to come home, and it'll cover you for any number of different reasons along the way, lost luggage or problems at the hotel, any of these things. And so it's really important more than ever to have travel insurance with this, unusual weathers with hurricanes, storms, and of course pandemics, and now flu and RSV. These are things, so you need to make sure you're covered, and it also covers the whole family. So if your elderly parent are sick and you can't go on the trip, yeah, those type of things are covered too. So it's important to get travel insurance, know what's in it, make sure you have the right coverage for you.
David, thanks as always for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it, Tyler. Take care. Have a happy holiday and a happy, healthy new year.